Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to another weather forecast here by Adrian's Weather Forecast. As you guys can tell, this is going to be my first preliminary spring forecast here for 2020. You guys are seeing this on the 19th here. I don't know exactly when I'm scheduling this, but I'm actually making this on the 18th because, again, like I said, I'm actually in southern Georgia as you guys are watching this video. But again, I will not be at my house for Wednesday, for Thursday, and then almost all of Friday. So again, I won't be able to post Thursday and Friday, but again, I just scheduled this, and I promised you guys a spring forecast, so here it is. I just made these maps right now, or when you guys are seeing it, I made it yesterday. But again, these are all fresh new data and all that. But yeah, be sure to subscribe, guys, if you guys are new to the channel. I would love monthly forecasts and all this daily weather updates, and also be sure to share the channel to any friends or family that you think will also love my channel. But without further ado, let's see what spring is going to look like. First thing we're going to be looking at is the precipitation here, and so we're going to be starting off with the below average precipitation. I'm going to say that I would have put the below average precipitation up throughout the whole west coast, but I feel like it's not going to be as dry in the area as people think. I feel like it's actually going to get a good amount of precipitation, because it actually looks like there's going to be a ton of precipitation moving to the Rockies. So I feel like there could be definitely not necessarily below average on their average, but it's obviously going to be drier than what it was last month with all the rain, like feet of rain. But obviously it's going to be drier than that. But that's why I said and later in the video it will be a bit drier, but that's why it's in the normal for those people wondering who've seen other maps. But again, the slightly below average precipitation will be generally off the west coast in the southwest. Again, this will be for California, southern Nevada, southern Utah, and then much of the Four Corner states except for Colorado. Again, you're probably not really going to feel the below average precipitation. Again, you guys have been under this for basically ever since November, so not necessarily a huge change, but again, it's not going to be drought or anything. Just not going to see as much rain. In some areas, we won't even see rain for 15 days, so that's quite crazy, but not necessarily enough for drought. And again, it's spring. That's when the precipitation comes. But again, when it comes to the west, that's when it gets really warm and dry. And then for slightly above average precipitation, that's throughout the eastern coast and throughout the west. Again, we're going to have a little region out there in the Rockies. That's where we're going to be seeing a ton of mountain snow and rain. Like I said, that's where we're going to be bringing the chilly rain throughout areas in the Pacific Northwest if possible. But again, you're going to be seeing a small more precipitation than we usually see on average. And same thing for the eastern coast, all the way from the mid-Atlantic down to the Gulf Coast. We're going to be seeing a ton of precipitation moving either with late nor'easters, a ton of maybe late Midwestern snowstorms, or just general spring rain and thunderstorms. And then in the moderately above average, that's going to be for much of the southeast and southern Gulf Coast. Again, we're going to be seeing the worst of the rain, the heaviest in the rain. Again, that's what we'll be seeing up to around 50 plus inches above average of rain this winter alone in these areas. So again, can't imagine what it's going to look like in the rainy season out here on the East Coast. It's going to be seeing just a ton of rain, and I'm not looking forward to the amount of rain we're going to be seeing in these areas. It's just nonstop rain, as you guys can tell. Now we'll be looking at the temperature outlook here. And again, now we're going to be starting with the slightly below average temperatures. Again, not going to get super cold as we are warming up a bit, but we could be seeing a late start throughout many of these areas. So could be seeing this winter air staying in maybe another 2 to 3 weeks maybe. But again, that's going to be mainly for the northern United States, throughout the northern plains, part of the west. Again, it's not going to be too bad, maybe 3 to 7 degrees below average, but not that. We have a couple cold fronts moving in, but they won't be major cold fronts moving all the way to Texas, all the way to Tennessee, Florida. They're just generally going to stay out there in the far northern United States. So you guys, most of my viewers won't even be, or most of you guys just won't even be affected by it while it's happening. Again, off the Great Lakes, all the way up into the far northeastern area of the United States, out there in the northeast. We'll be seeing below average temperatures as well in the far northern elevations, and also the plains, like out there near Nebraska and all that. I mean, it's not going to be freezing temperature or frigid cold temperatures, well, that I know of. And now throughout the southern United States, again, it's another north and south situation instead of an east and west situation. So now out there in the southern United States, all the way from coast to coast, from Pacific to Atlantic, we will be seeing slightly above average slightly above average temperatures. That's going to be all the way again throughout much of California to the Southern Virginia area. And that's where you probably start to notice these warmer temperatures getting to the 60s, and maybe even by late spring up there, we'll be seeing 70s and 80s. And like I said, be above average. So maybe some areas we might even see some peaks getting up there into the 90s. So again, definitely you guys need to think about that. Spring does go all the way to June 20th. So again, it's you guys are probably wondering, oh, April and March and April. There we go. That's it. But trust me, this goes all the way to June. I know it's weird to think about it, but June you think of summer, but it's actually still spring. So again, definitely get some really warm temperatures, especially out in the southwest. We have moderately above average temperatures. That's where you could be seeing a huge difference in temperatures, 5 to maybe even 12 degrees below or above average. But again, this is still a long way out, all the way to the end of spring and even mid spring. So, yeah, it's going to continue to move on. But actually, I do apologize for putting 2 R's in the rain. And then for the heavy rain region, I do apologize. That was actually a mistake. And now this is my final map here again. So we're going to be starting off in the southeast and make our way to the west. So again, in the general green color, that's where we have heavy rain. That's going to be for the Gulf Coast, up to Carolina, Virginia, and all the way up to northern Kentucky. Again, that's where we'll be seeing heavy rain. Could be seeing some very at some points, some very strong severe weather. Could be seeing generally just heavy rain, not necessarily thunderstorms or severe weather, just rain really. We won't really start seeing those major severe weather moving until like really July all the way through October in these areas. That's mainly a tornado season out there into the central plains, and not for the very dark green, that's flooding, and that's where we've seen the heaviest of the rain out there in the Carolinas, out there in the southeast. That's where we've seen the worst of the rain, the worst of the flooding, and the easiest of the flooding, as we've seen the soils are going to continue to stay wet throughout every single day of the week. So as we get into the spring days and spring weeks and spring months, the rain is just going to get worse and even longer lasting. And now for the yellow color, we have late start to spring. That's going to be all the way through the main area up to the central United States. Most people think it's just going to be the Northeast, but I think we'll have a bit of a late start as well out there into the Midwest and potentially the Ohio Valley. Again, not going to be a huge difference, a 1 to 2 months difference. Again, doesn't even mean you're going to be seeing unnecessarily wintry precipitation, just staying out there in the winter temperatures in winter conditions. Again, really just going to be a little bit of a tad of a late start, not a huge difference. Really not really necessarily going to feel it, especially out there in the north where you guys will still be seeing that snow. Speaking of snow in the white colors down the west and the Rockies all the way to the northeast, that's where we continue to see some snow. Mountain snow or just lake effect snow. We're just going to be seeing continue to see that snow moving all the way into March and April, maybe even early June in these areas. Now for the red, we have severe weather. I know that you're probably thinking that's the same thing as heavy rain, but it's actually going to be the heart of the severe weather outbreaks. Multiple tornadoes moving to Nebraska, out there in the south central, all the way moving to the Louisiana area. And now for the blue, we have colder, like I said. In the temperature outlook map, there's just going to be seeing some smaller cold fronts. There could be major ones, but won't be long lasting. And these cold fronts are starting to diminish as we speak. So again, could be seeing maybe 10 to 15 degree below average cold front, but mainly staying in that 3 to 7 degree below average cold fronts there. Not too big, but again, you mainly see in the minor side. Now for the light green color out there in the west, we have a flip-flop pattern again. I know you guys hate to be in the flip-flop pattern, but there's always going to be there. It's when you're going to be in between all these. You can be in between cold air, severe weather, warmer, snow, and even a bit drier. You guys are all going to be seeing all that bit of a mix out there. And that's generally out there in New Mexico, Colorado, Wyoming, and out there western Texas. You guys are normally really not unpredictable, but it's not that easy when you guys have all those different types of temperatures and weather all surrounding you guys. So again, I hate to say it, but you guys can see any of these. But most likely, you guys will probably stay on the warmer side. And maybe some snow out there as we get closer to Denver. But again, we still have northwestern Colorado under that snow. And then again, we have the warmer out there in the southwest. That's including the Four Corner states. And out there in California, again, like I said, not going to be too shabby. Not much of a difference. And out there in the Pacific, much of the West, like I said earlier in the video, it's going to be a bit drier. Like I explained, it's not necessarily going to be drier than normal, but it will be drier than you guys have been seeing for the past couple of days. And again, what you guys have been seeing for the past couple of weeks has been way above average. So, hope you got into a video, and bye, guys.